Hi, I'm Robert Shelide, Chief of Police for Shelby Township, and welcome to Straight Talk. With us today is Sergeant Mark Benedettini. Benny, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks, Chief. Glad to be
Thank
here.
you so much for coming on.
For sure.
Sergeant Benedettini is in charge of our Community Services Unit, and they handle all of our big programs we do for the communities, and he does a great job with that. One of the reasons I asked you to come on the show today is to talk about our school resource officers that we have at Utica and Utica Eisenhower. So would you like to talk about, or can you tell our audience how important the SRO program we have at those schools is?
It's very important. The school resource officer, I think I took a training class a couple years back with Chief Dolan, and he said the SRO is actually one of the most important and unique jobs in the police department. You're working in a school, in this case with Eisenhower and Utica, both big schools. It's like a own little city inside that school. You're working with the administrators, you're working with the students, and it takes a special person to be an SRO. A lot of cops, we know they have type A personalities, but you want to pick that good officer that's going to be in the school and mesh well with the administration, with the kids. And also, if there is a threat that comes into that school, you want an officer in there that you have confidence in there that's going to take care of the situation. Unfortunately, nowadays with all these school shootings all over the country, I've heard you say before you could spin a globe around and point at it, and then that's where they're just so randomized, you don't know where the next one's going to be at. But both these officers that we have in Eisenhower and Utica, they want to be there, and we're happy they're there because they're both doing great jobs. And I've talked with administrators in both the schools, and both schools are very happy with the SROs, Officer Weiss at Eisenhower and Officer Assetti at Utica. They're both very happy with them in that position.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Let's start with Officer Weiss over at Eisenhower. So she's been there since school started. She replaced a living legend. Officer Nabi was there for 5 years, everyone's favorite, and I think that he still wishes he was probably there. But he did a great job for us, and two totally different personalities to go from Nabi. He's a man in his 50s with a lot of experience, and Lauren is a female in her 20s with not a lot of experience, but I don't think we lost much there when it comes to what the main reason they're in the school, to build relationships and keep the kids safe.
Yep, I agree 100%. Nabi was in that school for 5 years, and talking with him, he really enjoyed it. It's definitely a lot of work being in the school. But he made a lot of good relationships. I remember the very last day he was in the school, the staff, they decorated his office, gave him cards. I mean, he built a lot of good relationships in there. Officer Weiss took over there for Officer Nabi, and she hasn't missed a beat. All the feedback I've been getting is she's been doing a great job. I mean, you can see her at these football games, getting the crowd riled up, making friendships with these students, and the staff, like I said, loves her as well. So she's very involved with that school. And like I said, it's a little bit of different dynamic. Officer Nabi is towards the tail end of his career. Officer Weiss is just getting started. She worked the road for a couple years. Now she wanted to get into schools, and so far it's been a great fit for her. So
yeah, I totally agree. One quick story I'd like to tell before we go to the package and take a look at her in action is I spoke in front of the teachers at Eisenhower and introduced Lauren to them. There's about 100 of them. And I told 3 or 4 stories about Lauren, and she got a standing ovation when they heard the story. So they know that she's up there to take care of business. Of all the stuff she has to do, there's one thing she definitely has to do more than anything is keep those kids safe and take care of any threat, whatever. And we're all very confident in that. So.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the number one priority of these SROs in these schools is to keep the schools safe. And if I know for a fact we have coverage at these schools all the time. So if Officer Weiss or Officer Assetti's sick or they're out of town, for some reason we backfill that position with another officer to be in that school because school safety is the number one priority for us. So we want to keep those kids safe, and we want the parents to know when they drop the kids off at school that their kids are going to come home at the end of the day and they're going to be safe. So I'm confident with those 2 officers in there that they'll have no problems doing that. And like I said, heaven forbid something were to happen at those schools, those officers will take care of business.
I couldn't agree more. So. I couldn't agree. Let's take a look at Officer Weiss in action.
I think being a school resource officer is something that is taken for granted, something that's looked at as maybe like a boring job or one that many people don't want to do. But I look at it as a way to impact the youth, which I think is super important. Every day this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and tonight?
I work tonight, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least you'll probably make good money, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of
The kids are the future, in my opinion, and I think it's important for them to have a positive impact and someone to look up to, and that's what I'm striving to do. Are we excited for tonight or what?
Yeah, we're gonna win.
Are we? It's been a whirlwind. I didn't really know what to expect, but I'm super grateful for the opportunities and the moments that I have had. The kids are super great. They're very welcoming to me, and the staff as well have been super welcoming. Hey girl, how's it going? Strawberry sandwich? Yeah? Peanut butter and strawberry. So I usually get here about 7 o'clock. I'll go through the parking lot, just check things out, make sure the kids are behaving, not being stupid in the parking lot. And then once I get in the morning, I'll go through my emails, check everything out, check in with the staff and see if they have anything going on. And then what I like to do, I don't like to sit in this chair. It's pointless. I think it's important for the kids to see me walking around, so I'll do several laps throughout the day, interact with the kids in the hallways. Sometimes I'll step into classes and just listen, see what they're learning. And then my favorite part is the lunch period. That's where all the kids are. That's where I have my most interaction through their 3 lunch periods. So I will walk around in the lunchroom, talk to everybody, ask how their lunch is, ask how their day is, what they're excited for the weekend. That's kind of what happens.
She's the most popular person around. Trust me on that.
I felt like I needed more. I needed to be doing something more, and then the SRO position came up, and it's something that I gave a lot of thought to. And I consider myself a people person. I love to interact with people, so I thought, I love kids, I love interacting with people, so why not give this a shot? What's up, guys? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's up? I think there's pros and cons to, being a female and being younger. That could be perceived as like there's no respect maybe in a sense, but I think it's been the exact opposite. The kids have been super respectful. They've come to me with, their problems, whether it be in the school, whether it be a personal life, and I think that's important. Being a young officer is they have someone that they can relate to a lot easier than maybe someone who's older. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing okay today?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Come see me if you need to. My favorite thing about being an SRO so far has been the football games on Friday nights. The kids came to me one of the very first weeks of school, and they saw a video on TikTok of a SRO out of a different state holding up a sign that says cheer loud or go to jail. So they really wanted me to do this, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I'll ask the staff, ask the principal, see what he wants. Principal was all for it, so one of the student section leaders made me a sign that said cheer loud or go to jail, so I've been doing it at every single football game, and the kids love it. It's great. That's been my favorite part. You don't want this cookie?
No, you have.
Did you open it?
No.
Okay. So I have a few things that I'm wanting to do here at the school within the next few years. I'm a certified women's self-defense instructor, which I think would be super important to bring into the schools for seniors going off to college, sports teams. So I'm hoping to get that in the school here within the next year or so. But basically just learning, trying to develop new skills, again, continue to be interactive with the students, build relationships that hopefully continue outside of when they graduate. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Do I need a counter?
My Mary Poppins pouch. Nope.
Let's go.
I think that's $1. You can check if you want.
Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sweet. I can do math still. Thank you. I'm here at Eisenhower because I'm here for the kids. I'm here to be that person that they can come to, again, whether it be something involving their personal life, whether it be here at school. Ultimately, I'm here to keep them safe. They are now my kids, and I look at them as like nobody is going to come here, nobody is going to do anything to them, harm them, because they are now my kids. And it's kind of crazy when you come into this position how protective you get of every single kid in this school and how badly you want to keep them safe. You do everything with their safety in mind, and that's the outlook that I look or that's the outlook that I have now.
Woohoo! Good job, guys. That was our superstar young officer, Lauren Weiss. She's doing a great job for us, and I expect her to be at Eisenhower many, many years doing a great job. So Sergeant Benedettini, let's move over to Utica High School. So it's a totally different environment over there than it is at Eisenhower. They have a lot less kids, and I hear a lot less problems because, you know, a smaller community and everything like that. And we have Officer Gabe Bassetti. He's also a new SRO over at the school, and you supervise him. And what can you tell our audience about Officer Bassetti and how he's doing over at Utica?
To echo, same thing with Lauren. He's been doing fantastic from the administrators I've spoken to over there at Utica. He, you know, Officer Bassetti has a little bit of a different background than Lauren. He's been with us for, I believe, close to 20 years at our department, and most of the time he's worked on the road, working road patrol. So he's kind of at the tail end of his career, whereas Lauren's just getting started in her career. But Officer Bassetti put in for this position. He was interested in this position when Officer Leslie Heisler retired last year. And I sat in on the interviews with the staff there at Utica High School. And right after they interviewed him, I spoke with some of the administrators there, and he was the guy they wanted. He's got a calming personality, Officer Bassetti. He's got a military background.
He's pretty high up in the military reserves. What was his rank, do you know?
You know, I'm not even sure.
I know it was a major at one point.
Yeah, I believe it was a major. I think it might even be a
Lieutenant Colonel.
Lieutenant
Colonel,
I
think he
believe.
got bumped up.
Yeah, but he definitely has a military background. So, like Officer Weiss, he is maintaining good relationships with the administrators, with the students, the staff, and like I said, heaven forbid there's an active shooter at Utica High School. I'm very confident Officer Bassetti will take care of business. And he's got a calming presence when you talk to Officer Bassetti. He knows how to take care of business. So, I mean, you talk to him, he's calm, and it's probably due to his military background, but you also know that, you know, he's going to handle things in the way they should be. So he's been fitting in very well with Utica High School, and these SROs, they work these sporting events like the football games, basketball games. So you see them at these games, and we like to have them at these sporting events because if there's a problem with some kids, it's nice to have a school resource officer there. Let
me cut you off for 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did one of our SROs get beat up last year by an old woman? I know she punched him and stuff. I think it might have been Officer Nabi. Was trying to take care of his situation. She socked him in the shoulder. So
yeah, that was Officer Nabi, and I think he was off for a couple months after that. But he's back now, and he came back better than ever after that. So
yeah, so I agree with the sporting events. There should be somebody there, and I know they both take care of that.
They both take care of that, and like I said, you see them around the schools at these events, and you know, like I said, the SROs are definitely a unique job. I had the opportunity to do it for a few months when we were in transition a couple years ago at Eisenhower. I worked in Eisenhower High School for about 3-4 months as the SRO at that time to fill in for somebody, and you know, and I enjoyed it. At first, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I met a lot of great kids, and I met a lot of great staff, which I'm still friends with some of the staff members to this day from Eisenhower. One of them just called me up a couple weeks ago to see how I was doing.
I love it.
So I enjoyed my time at Eisenhower, and I can tell Officer Weiss and Officer Bassetti are both doing great, and they're building these relationships, and so far so good.
Yeah, I love it.
So
let's take a look at Officer Bassetti in action over at Utica High.
I wanted to be a school resource officer because I found this opportunity to be just that, a great opportunity where I could do a lot of the things that I became a police officer for in the first place. Be able to make a difference on the future generations, be able to help people out, answer whatever questions that the kids may have, and yeah, just make their lives better for them. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. What's this?
I'm not sure. Chocolate.
Chocolate bar? Where'd you guys get this?
I don't know.
I usually get to the building about 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. I'll come in, I'll check my voicemail, I'll check my email, make sure that there's nothing going on that I need to deal with. You know, we don't have anything that we need to address right away. Greet the students at the back door as they come in, as they get off the buses and come in from the parking lots. Once the students are all inside, once classes begin, I'll walk the perimeter of the school. I'll make sure that the doors are all secured, make sure that there's nothing out of place, nothing there that shouldn't be there. And then walk the halls. I'll spend time in the cafeteria, interacting with the kids, you know, letting them see me, you know, making sure that they know I'm here for them to keep them safe. My primary purpose here at Utica High School, I'm responsible for the safety of the building and everybody in it. So my job is to keep people out that don't belong here and make sure that everybody is safe. I first started here at Utica High School in March of this year, March of 2023, and since then I've been welcomed with open arms. I've had students coming up to me, introducing themselves to me. I've had little notes left in my office for me, little sticky notes welcoming me to Utica High School, or the U as they affectionately refer to it as. Yeah, just welcomed with open arms. It really was a warm reception by both the student body, the faculty, and the administrators. Oh, what you working on? You know, unfortunately, it's a sad state that we live in where, you know, you can't go more than a month or two without hearing about some type of incident at a school somewhere, either here in North America or somewhere around the world. So as a proactive measure that the police department is trying to implement in a partnership with Utica Community Schools for that immediate response should something happen, and again, just to be a resource for the administration and the students here to answer whatever questions they may have and, you know, make sure that everybody is safe. Guys excited about your half day today?
I'm so excited. Very excited.
This is kind of where things start, you know. This is where they start to form opinions and, you know, get those experiences that are going to follow them for the rest of their lives. So at this age, you know, that's kind of when they get that perception that either, you know, yeah, the police officers are a friend, they're very helpful, or, you know, then if they unfortunately have some type of negative experience, that's going to kind of follow them too. So, I mean, especially at this age, you know, it's just important to let them get to know, you know, myself, let them see that I'm a person too. You know, I am a police officer. I'm here for them. I'm here to help them out in any way I can, and, you know, serve as a liaison with the department. So if there's anything else going on, perhaps outside of school, you know, they kind of have that connection. They'll feel comfortable coming to me with issues that, you know, may be affecting them at home or in their workplace or, you know, with students at other schools, things of that nature. So it's absolutely critical that we get a good working relationship with them now that they'll carry with them as they grow into young adults and get out into the workforce on their own. Hey guys, how's it going? Having a good day?
Yep.
Awesome. Again, that I'm happy to have the opportunity to work in such a great building. This really is an amazing high school. Couldn't ask for a better student body, administration. I'm fortunate to have such a great administration at the police department as well that's very open to this partnership with Utica schools, and yeah, I just love coming to work every day. Have a good day.
That was Officer Gabriel Lissetti over at Utica High School. He's doing a great job for us, and I'm glad our audience got to see him in action. Benny, school safety, the bus school safety with our kids getting on a bus, how important is that in Shelby Township?
And that's another thing where we have zero tolerance for. It's a top priority of our department, of our traffic bureau. I ran the traffic bureau for a few years, and I know Sergeant Stanberry runs the bureau now. And just like when I was in there, he places a high priority on school bus safety, in particular for cars going past school bus when they have their red lights activated. I saw a stat the other day where 100 kids every year get killed in school bus related accidents. So we make that a top priority. I mean, sometimes in the morning, I even see them when I'm on my way to work. Sometimes I see officers hiding out by these bus stops where they're picking up kids, and just to see if people are going to blow past the buses with the red lights on.
Okay, so it's out. We got one car, two cars. Two for sure, maybe a third, maybe a fourth. Lots of cars, so that's four that just ran it. So I can't pull over everybody, obviously, so we're gonna pull over the last two. Or I'm gonna try to get two if I want. Pull over right here. She's gonna pull in the parking lot. So we're gonna get her, and then we're gonna get the guy right behind her.
Can you hold the numbers for that 1090 again?
T86. I'll have two stopped at McClanahan's. Get your plates in a minute. All right. Hi. Did you see the school bus?
School bus?
Yeah. The school bus you drove past?
I didn't even pay attention.
You didn't pay attention to it? Okay. Did you have your license, registration, insurance? There was a school bus on the other side. You got to stop for it.
Oh,
I know when I was in the traffic bureau, that was always a ticket for me, for the fact to keep these kids safe, you know. And a couple weeks ago, we did Operation Safe Stop in conjunction with the Michigan State Police, where it was a week long where we just focused on school bus safety, ticketing these violators for going past the buses. Sad to say that people still do it all the time. And sometimes you get 3, 4, or 5 cars that'll go past these buses when kids getting on them. And
it makes me sick hearing this, just so you know.
yeah, and you know, and this is no secret. We posted on social media ahead of time that we're going to be enforcing this. You know, and you always get a couple comments on there, people saying, oh, you know, we're just trying to generate revenue, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. The number one reason, and the only reason, is to keep these kids safe. It's got nothing to do with generating revenue.
Yeah. I'm glad you just said that. I want to address our audience directly. I've been a chief here almost 9 years, and never once have I pushed tickets on these guys. I was never a big ticket writer when I was an officer on the road, and don't get me wrong, we have to have safe streets, and that way we have a traffic safety bureau, but I've never once put any type of quotas or pushing guys to write tickets, period. For the reason you're talking about, we're not trying to generate any revenue. We're blessed here in Shelby Township. We have enough income to support our police department, and that's the bottom line. So let's get back to our school bus safety. Specifically, you guys are doing all kinds of great things. You're out there with zero tolerance, writing these guys tickets and sending them to court and everything like that. I would hope that our court is taking care of business on their end. Do you happen to know anything on the end game of what's going on over there?
You know, it's a 3-point ticket, $290 ticket. We write the violation. Once we write the violation, it's up to the driver if they want to set up a court date, pay the violation, or mail in the fine.
I just hope the court is being strict.
I hope so too, and I've heard different things about sometimes, you know, depending on the driver's record. But I agree. I hope the court is being strict as well to back up and keep these kids safe is the main reason.
So our audience is probably wondering who this Officer Nabi is. We've mentioned him a few times. You heard he was assaulted by an old granny last year, but he's kind of our jack of all trades at our police department right now. He's doing a lot of different things, and so Shelby TV and Stacy sent him out to watch the school buses and see what's going on there. So let's take a look and see how Officer Nabi does out on the streets.
Well, at least the oncoming car stopped. Yeah, obviously citizens are on their way to work, or mainly they have children that are in the Utica school system that utilize the bus services, and they're there at the bus stop watching, trying to load their kids on the bus. And the bus has got the lights out, the stop signs out, yet people are still passing them, and obviously they're concerned for their safety of their own children and the kids that are around them. I don't know if that Honda would have went if I wasn't here. I'd say if you're a resident, you see the yellow flashers, you're behind the bus, and you could pass because they haven't come to a complete stop. You stop, everybody has to stop behind you. That if you're that concerned about it, there's nothing wrong with that. You're not impeding traffic by being overly cautious because you know that the stop is impending. They're rolling, the yellow lights come on. It's just a matter of seconds before the red lights come on and the stop sign and the doors open for them to start loading kids. If you're in that position, stop, because everybody behind you has got to stop. It's going to be hard for them to go around. And if they go around you, that shows their intention and their blatant disregard. And get a license plate and call the police department. We can at least follow up. If we have a witness, a civil infraction, that's what it is. The ticket is a civil infraction. It's not a criminal offense. If you can identify who was driving the car and the car, we can issue the violation.
So that was Officer James Noblesdorf, a.k.a. Nabi, out on patrol and keeping our streets safe. Benny, one thing I want to mention to our audience and just say before we close the show is that under my administration, and I look at you as somebody who has an integral part of my administration, keeping the kids safe at the schools is our highest priority, okay? And everything we do, we train to keep those kids safe. I remember when I was a brand new chief, we started putting in the active assailant training, blah, blah, blah. I asked if we could train in one of the schools. Now, this is the old administrator at the school. Yeah, sure, she sent us to some school we could train, and I got a bill for $4,000 to clean up our mess after that, which I thought was terrible. I don't think they were on the same page with us. The new administrator is. Him and I have a very good working relationship. He understands that our priority at Shelby Township Police Department is to keep these kids safe, and we do that. Every day we're at the schools, watching for every tiny little thing. these kids make these stupid threats, and we deal with them immediately. And you're a big part of that. I want you to know that right now. You're on top of everything, and you and your team do a great job. And I want to thank you. And rest assured to our residents that the Shelby Township Police Department is out there every day, 24/7, 365 days a year. And we are and will keep our children safe. You've been watching Straight Talk. We'll see you next month.